gonna blame you. I'm gonna blame you. No. Hey, real quick, it looked like out there, quarterback-wise, you might have a top two now. Is that just appearances or whatever? It looked like it was,
that was
Joe
today.
and
That was today, maybe. But I think the biggest thing is we're going to continue to challenge them guys mentally and move them around and see how they react and respond. I think that's everything will be a test.
In other words, at least all the way through till the Jersey scrimmage and maybe beyond, or after the Jersey scrimmage.
We haven't set dates, but on a daily basis, kind of move them around just to see how they react, and that's the biggest thing about pretty much any position is how you react when things happen, and whether that's moving from ones to twos or ones to threes, or even if it goes in a different position, from a tailback to a fullback or from a linebacker to an end. I mean, just try to do things to challenge them mentally.
Luke, who's got the edge, if there is, between the O and the D?
Hopefully I got an edge on it, but no. You know what? It's too hard to tell. I mean, the thing about camp is, one day goes up, one day goes down. Someone has to win, someone has to lose. That's just the name of the game. So I think we've all done our fair share of having our moments on both sides of the ball. But the most important thing is I think we've seen some consistency. And, the energy and effort has been there. And I think that's the thing that's been exciting.
Has Balsman had a pretty good start to camp, though? I mean, have you noticed? Has he kind of stood out a little bit, or just what's your take on him?
He has. I think he's done a great job. I think his confidence level is up. I think his, you got the ability to do a lot of different things. Yeah. But I think the biggest thing is that confidence ability, or his confidence that kind of shows in the huddle, as well as just emotionally. He's been pretty solid.
Luke, Andrew Norwell got on the field for you guys last year as a true freshman, and obviously looks like he's going to play an important role for you. Just what kind of kid is he, and how has he handled himself since he got to Ohio State?
I don't know exactly him as a kid, as a person, as much, but I know that he is a tough guy. He is a guy that probably a lot of what we talk about being. He kind of that's pretty normal for him. So I think that's the thing that excites us the most. I mean, I know he's got ability. I remember from high school. I remember him beating up my high school in the state finals and a few times. But that was a while ago. He has grown and matured a lot. And I really think we're thinking about good things, big things for him this year.
What are your impressions of the running back situation right now?
There's a bunch of them, and that's one of the tougher positions I think on the field, because the one position that takes the most hits, and the guy's got to keep on getting up and keep on coming back after it and wearing people out. I think we've got a group of guys that are very impressive, and I'll be curious to really see how they stand out when we get to the scrimmages and the things that are really live.
It seems like each of those guys has different qualities. Is that something where a running back a committee approach might be the best thing?
You know what? You never know. That's the thing. It's when you get your opportunities, you got to take advantage of them. And if you take advantage of them, obviously there'll be more opportunities. So, there's no substitute for competition.
Can you sense those guys realize that it's competitive back there?
I think so. I mean, I think, I don't think you come to Ohio State and don't think you're going to compete at every position, but most especially sometimes at the running back spot. And, I think they all enjoy it. I think they all thrive off it. Now we just got to see who can step up.
There were a number of guys that sat out today. Are there any injury concerns you have that might be serious?
Nothing I'm concerned about.
Okay.
Two more questions, folks. Luke, is there anything, just, you're at this point in camp, running your first camp, are there things that you've had to tweak as you go, or do you feel like the way things have progressed, this is sort of the plan that you had in place when camp started?
I think there's always little things you got to tweak, and I guess it's a feel, and I haven't done it nearly as much, obviously, but you just get some input from some different people, and whether it's your own coaches, whether it's people on the outside, and you just got to have a gut feeling, and you got to make some decisions, and you got to know the guys you're working with, and I think that's probably, as a coaching staff, that's been the best thing, is the stability we've had, knowing those guys for 9 years, but also to know the players, and who you can read and who's wearing down, and it isn't just a mental thing. So those are the things I think that's different for me that I got to really, really watch to be able to tweak things.
How have you balanced everything, just in terms of, again, watching the film after practice with all the groups and still, getting home at a normal time? And have you figured sort of all that part of it out yet, or are you still feeling that out?
Still feeling it out. I mean, it's a work in progress, and I don't know that I found that balance that I said is so key. But hopefully, continue to do it. And it might be a little overkill right now, but I'm figuring out what's best for me and what's best for this team and what's best for our staff. And I also got to remind myself what's best for the family at times too. But they know the situation, and we're going to do it the way we think it needs to be done.
How late you staying most nights?
Well, really, that's really a big deal. But I'm usually stay at the hotel, so you know, I'm around those guys as much as I possibly can.
Thanks, Luke.